Welcome back, all you Regs and all you Shinies. Welcome to the most mediocre podcast in the Star Wars universe, the 1313 Podcast. I'm Tommy.
I'm Jackson.
And this week on the show, we are gingeless.
We are Jacobless.
We are Jacobless.
We are film majorless.
We are. So just before we get started, we just need to say it to get it out of the way. If you didn't know, Jacob goes to the alma mater that Dave Filoni went to, and he really wants to work for Lucasfilm, and he's a film major. Okay. Got that out of the way.
And he's filming tonight, so that's why he ain't here. Unfortunately, it's finals week. What are you going to do?
So we got that out of the way. Guys, welcome back to the podcast. Before we get started, got a couple things here. If you are new and you're on our YouTube channel right now, subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow us on Spotify, Instagram, X, TikTok. Everything is linked in the description below if you're listening or watching. You can also join our Discord, where we have an awesome community of very positive Star Wars collectors, fans, gurus, everything in between. Also, you can check us out on Twitch. I don't know if that's in our link tree or not.
It should be. I'm pretty sure it was in the link tree.
If you search up 1313 Podcast, you'll find it. And then we also have some merch. We don't talk about the merch too much, but if you go down in the description, we have our merch. Some pretty cool designs there. Some original works from our good friends Action Display and Your Casual Clone. Check both of them out as well. And then also, if you want to join our channel membership for a mere 99 cents a month, you can do that. You get special bonuses like priority in our comment section, special badges next to your comments. This is only for YouTube. And you get special access to the blooper reels for our Tiga's Trading Post series. Additionally, you can consider, if you want to go a step beyond that and support us financially, you can go through Patreon. We have 3 separate tiers with a ton of awesome bonuses, things like that. And at the Gungan Boss tier, we do monthly giveaways. Yep. We're actually going to be giving away our December giveaway on December 1st, which is, if I'm not mistaken...
it's Oppo, the Target exclusive. You could always use another 501st clone, so why not get this right now and join our Patreon?
So the day this comes out will be the day that we give it away, so keep tuned in for a live stream where we will do a Wheel of Death for the winner. Right now, I think we only have 4 or 5 Gungan bosses, so the chances are pretty high that you could win. So
it's pretty good. Fantastic
action figure, top 10 of the year, and you should definitely get involved. Speaking of giveaways,
we have an amazing giveaway, but we're only going to tease it for right now. We are coining it as the 13 Days of Christmas giveaway because we're 1313. We'll do 13 days, but the 13 days leading up to Christmas, we are going to have a giveaway every single day. We will be having a post coming out on social media on how to enter. And for the members of our Patreon, guess what? For your special surprise next month, you're going to get another entry, but you're really going to want that extra entry anyway because the prizes that we have are pretty good. Tommy and I kind of cooked on this one, so... we're pretty happy for this giveaway.
Yeah, Jackson and I put in a lot of time and effort. This is actually also in part. We just decided to theme it for Christmas, but we hit 1,000 subscribers on our YouTube channel.
And we said we would do a big giveaway because we hit 1,000 subscribers.
Yeah, back in September. So we definitely just took our time, wanted to get our bearings together. We got some awesome prizes in store, and you can expect a full video specifically about the giveaway, how to enter, what the prizes are going to be, probably in a week and a half. So just keep an eye out on our social media. We'll post it on Instagram, TikTok, everything else. But yeah, we're super excited. I'm really excited for this one.
Yeah,
probably,
I think it'll be a lot of fun.
I would say it's probably the biggest giveaway I've ever seen on Star Wars social media.
I would say too, again, like we really got a bit of decent stuff for this as well. So I am pretty happy with the results that we have. Looked at my credit card bill today and I was like, for when I'm going to have to pay that off. So just know that it's good and we aren't trying to do lousy gifts.
Yeah, the prizes will get better as each day goes as well, leading up to a grand prize on Christmas Day.
Christmas Day will be the biggest giveaway.
So that's all I have for that. So Jackson, what's new? What's new with you, man?
So tomorrow, well, by the time this video comes out, it will have been the past, but it'll kind of be my biggest day of the semester. I have a final presentation for a real-life client that we are talking about real-world issues regarding the United States and China too. I can talk about it because it's declassified, but I'm not going to because it's going to bore you if I do. But then, additionally, on Thursday, I should also have the confirmation if I am going to be officially chosen as a chaplain candidate for the Army. So that'll be my job for the next 8 years. So really looking forward to that. It's a little bit stressful tomorrow too, because there's a person or two that we know are kind of like not so great on the list for what they might want, so they might not get their first choice of job. So we're kind of hoping it works out for them. But that's what I got going on. How about you?
I've had several things happen this last week, but I'm not going to bore you with every moment of my life, because you're here to listen to Star Wars. So first things first, I have finally bitten the bullet, and I've gotten into Star Wars Legion. Woo! So if you don't know what Star Wars Legion is, it is a tabletop game similar to Warhammer 40K, a little bit of D&D mixed in there. It's a tabletop game with miniatures. You have 2 Star Wars factions that go head-to-head in a battle. There's tons of different battle scenarios that you have. There's things involved like cover, so you don't get hit by as many shots if you're undercover. There are hero characters. So recently I bought a ton of the Clone Wars era stuff. So right now I got the starter kit. Comes with like Obi-Wan, like about 14 clone troopers, Bark Speeder. And then it comes with Grievous, like 18 battle droids, a couple droidicas. I bought a ton of stuff with it, like bonus stuff like TX-130, droid AAT. I got like Anakin, Rex, Asajj Ventress, commando droids, ARC troopers, just all kinds of stuff. And so I'm learning how to paint. And so luckily we have a store that's like 5 blocks from my house, and it's called the Griffin's Lair. They have a couple. Exactly where you mean. They have a location in Pittsburgh. They have a location where we live, and it's really cool. I mean, I've been there twice in the last week just to buy paints, ask questions, get products. I want to do it right the first time. The store manager there, Rocco, shout out to you. He has been a very, very big help to me. Super kind, super helpful. I really can't be happy enough with how he's been. He has given me so many tips and tricks on how to do stuff right the first time. And very, very thankful that I have someone that I can actually talk to rather than going into a Discord, because there's just something
not that
about
the Discord is wrong.
Well, not our Discord.
Oh, okay.
No, like
okay.
A Legion Discord.
Gotcha.
Yeah, because there's just a certain demographic of people that play tabletop games, and for lack of a better term, just a bunch of like neckbeards. And so Rocco is not a neckbeard. He's very helpful and doesn't make me feel like an idiot when I'm asking basic questions.
You clearly didn't know that this type of character moves this way and that you needed to use this shiny paint to make them attack better.
I will say,
kind of a vibe.
The first time I went, there was a guy reading a manual for like one of the games, and he was sitting there, and out of nowhere, I just hear him pipe up behind me. How could a level 7 Death Angel go up against a level 13? Why would you ever do that? And I was like, wow. Everyone has their thing. I'm sure people think that about me when...
And we have a Star Wars podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so...
Speaking of that, my internet has been out like on and off like for the last week. It's happened like 6 times. It's been bugging me. So I called my internet provider. They sent a technician down. And he is trying to look for like a splitter.
Yeah.
So we're going all around my house. We're looking for a splitter. Eventually, we walk upstairs into my Star Wars room. He walks in. I turn the light on, and I'm like, "Oh, is it this panel?" And he goes, "No, it's not that panel." And he like takes a moment, looks around the room, and I kind of just sat there like up against the wall, and I just didn't say anything. Because I was like, you know what? It's like, none of this guy's business, what I'm into, whatever. And I couldn't tell like what his reaction was. He was kind of just taking it all in. And then he like went out, fixed it. He comes back in. He's messing with my router. Yeah. He's like, "Oh, so are you a Star Wars fan?" And we start talking Star Wars. He's a big KOTOR player. So I ended up giving him a business card. Sent him on his way. But yeah, it was super cool. Like, what are the odds that the guy that's working that comes to work on the stuff, he's a big Star Wars guy. He was super knowledgeable on Star Wars as well. We got to talk actually about positive stuff, so that was cool.
That is nice. That is nice.
Shout out to that guy. If you're listening, then shout out to you.
Hell yeah. So honestly, the only other really big thing that we happened today as of recording is Spotify Wrapped came out. Yeah. And so with that, I kind of forgot that we had the ability to kind of see some of our statistics. So Tommy has some of those screenshotted here. We're going to kind of go through what Spotify had to tell us.
Yeah. So there were, you guys know what Spotify Wrapped is. I'm sure most of you listen to Spotify. These are our statistics from our listeners for our podcast. I didn't screenshot all of them because some of them were just like they didn't really mean anything.
Yes, that's kind of how it is for some of it.
I don't need to do all like 25 statistics for this.
Yeah.
But first, our top episode this year was our discussion episode for Ahsoka episode 5.
That's
where
impressive.
she has the Clone Wars flashbacks and all that stuff.
That was one of the best episodes, so I get it.
Yeah. And apparently 87% of our listeners for 2023 are new this year.
That's awesome.
That's cool. That tells me that we're growing on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
We were streamed in 12 different countries across the world.
Oh, yeah.
And the United States was only 53% of our total streams.
That's actually really cool to think about.
So
that half our audience is only from the U.S. and people around the world listen to us. Did it give you a country list?
No, it just gave me our number 1 was U.S. and number 2 was Canada.
Damn, guess the people up north really like us.
Mm-hmm. Our out of 5, our podcast has a 4.5 out of 5 rating from our viewers. So that was cool.
That's pretty neat. I wonder how they kind of factor into that too.
Mm-hmm. This year we have gained 31% listeners. So
sweet.
31% of you guys are new. Our streams have gone up by 117% in 2023.
That would make sense since we hit 1K on YouTube and we have a lot more people tracking us now.
Yeah. We gained 90% followers. So we almost doubled our followers from 2022.
I was going to say, the audio has been growing too. You kind of showed it to me the one time too. Like our statistics have been like going up more and more.
We are a top 10 podcast for 61 of our listeners.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty cool thing to think about. I know Commander Cook put his Spotify Wrapped saying that like he was a top like 2% fan of 1313. I mean, it really means a lot too to see people listening to us that often as well. It's very humbling, I should say.
We were a top 5 podcast for 38 people.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
So
that's exciting.
And then we were the number 1 podcast for 9 people.
That's really, really
out
cool.
of any podcast anywhere. Number 1 podcast for 9 people. So that's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome.
Thank you for listening.
And 88% of our listeners on Spotify joined in 2023.
Sweet.
So we've gotten a lot more active on Spotify. Actually, right now, I'll tell you our current count. And I haven't checked this in a long time.
Is this on Anchor or is this
it's now called Spotify for podcasters.
I mean, it makes sense that they would call it that. I have Anchor on my computer. I just never did it on my phone.
Yeah. So we have 148 Spotify followers. I'm pretty sure last year we only had like 60 or 70.
That's impressive.
And our all-time plays, keep in mind the last time I checked this, it was only at 2,000. Our all-time plays are at 6,676 listens.
That's awesome.
Across Spotify and everything else. So
sweet.
Yeah, that's and those listens only count as a download or a stream. They have to be listening to it for at least 60 seconds.
I was going to say, yeah, I know for like when monetization is done for like music and whatnot, you have to listen to a song for like 20 to 30 seconds for it to like count.
Yeah. We had a huge high when in like April and May of this year.
That's kind of surprising because I would definitely think when we did ErieCon would be more of a spike because we were talking to more people then. But
yeah. Oh, that was when Mando was coming out, wasn't it?
True. And if it was April and May we went to ICC and we kind of advertised a little bit, but maybe. Shoot, that's pretty dope.
So yeah, that's pretty cool. It's really encouraging considering it's like so much higher than our numbers from last year, and that's we kind of neglect that audience a little bit just because we're so focused on the YouTube aspect.
Yeah.
But I mean, we post all our Tika's trading posts go on Spotify.
That's a new thing
as a video, and all our podcast episodes. So they it's very awesome that you guys. So thank you guys. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you. We love y'all. Love y'all for real.
All right, so Jackson came up with this week's topic
for
the podcast.
This week for the podcast, I kind of wanted to talk about, especially with the Christmas season coming up, Star Wars products from companies that we would recommend ourselves. You know, when I think about Star Wars products, I want to kind of think beyond like Hasbro and like shopdisney.com. And I'm really a fan of cool Star Wars things, not going to Old Navy and buying a t-shirt that just says Star Wars on it. I want like really interesting products that captivate me and things that I use on an everyday basis that I feel like you, our subscribers and listeners, would really like. And maybe you could get this too for yourself or a special someone for Christmas. So that's where this kind of came up with. But I know I came up with a list of top 3 companies that I would recommend, and I know Tommy did as well. I could kind of start it off too real quick.
Yeah, go right ahead.
So the first one that I have for you all today is from a company called No Hope Supply. Now, I've talked about them before, and they do have they have another account. Their main account actually is Only Hope Supply, and that's very focused around like positive imagery of Star Wars, like helmets or stuff with Ahsoka with like flowers and prettier things, I should say. Whereas No Hope Supply, and I have my t-shirt here that I have through them, is very focused on dark imagery. I'll kind of put it more in front of the camera. But this is kind of their signature design right now. This is a helmet I have of Jesse that says "Good soldiers follow orders." They have a bunch in this clone line, but his helmet is cracked open and you can see his skull. That was what really also partially inspired what I was doing for my tattoo here, because I wanted something more like gross and like metal-like. And when I think of Star Wars products, I mean, I'm already a huge fan of metal itself in this kind of like genre of imagery. And so it was a no-brainer for me. I have had this since, well, I actually got it for ICCC so I could wear it around and kind of show it off because I thought it was really cool. And the material that they use is really soft. Their items are very fairly priced as well. I know Black Friday just came and went, but they do occasional sales of like 10% off their products. And everything that they show too is either in a t-shirt, a crew neck, or a sweatshirt form. And if you don't want the design right on the front, you could do like a mini version of it in the corner or just do it in the back. I'll admit it, there is some other designs through them that I'm kind of begging and pleading for. I know I put one of them on a Christmas list too, specifically Crosshair, because I think the way that they did the green color for that is awesome. But besides like Clone Troopers, they just did an Imperial line of like Imperial shattered helmets, and it says "Long Live the Empire." Or their latest drop was of Anakin, and they did a Thrawn drop too, and Jacob wore that shirt a few weeks ago on the podcast. But in long story short, they're a really good company for clothing. If you want some kind of like awesome like metal like clothing like that, totally check them out. Or check out their parent company, Only Hope Supply, which does a lot of very cool and nice, clean looking t-shirts and other merchandise.
We've also talked to them before. They entered into our... Which giveaway did we do that they entered in?
They did enter a giveaway. I'll admit it, because I don't know if they're watching this. We actually tried to get them to do a collaboration with us. I thought it was going to be the coolest idea if we could use the 1313 helmet design and do that on a shirt. And we sent a message to them and asked, and they didn't really reply. I guess long story short, they got profit goals they got to meet. But I thought it would be a really cool idea for the community to do a t-shirt through another company.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want revenue from it. I would just want people to wear it.
Just give me a free one.
Yep. That's all I would want. But kind of fell through. Maybe in the future we'll do a collab with the brand someday. Yeah. Maybe when we're bigger, a bigger deal to people.
I think it was the May 4th giveaway that we did.
I think it was. Yeah. That's cool that other brands follow us and know we exist.
Yeah. So we've talked to them a couple times. They're pretty cool. One that I really like, and this is less... they do clothing, but they also do like book bags and stuff, is Heroes Villains.
Oh yeah, Heroes Villains is really good.
Heroes Villains is a really good place. They do a lot of awesome Star Wars, specifically like clone merch. I saw they had like an ARC Trooper 5s collection.
That's their newest collection too.
They've got a Captain Rex collection. They've got just all kinds of like prequel era stuff, lots of original trilogy. I do have, right when we started the show, maybe even before that, you guys gave me for free that little...
The Rex satchel bag?
Yeah, the satchel bag. I still have
use it
that.
Too. Heck yeah.
Very, very nice. It's good quality equipment. Good. I really can't complain when it comes... And again, you guys know me. if I get something Star Wars, I don't want it to be
cringe.
Like, this is a shirt I would never wear in public. Like, unless I had like a flannel.
I've worn that shirt in public a few times.
Unless I had a flannel over it, you know? But it's like, I like to be very low key with my Star Wars merch. I like it. So if you know it, you think it's cool and you'll still like approach me and say something. But Joe Schmo is not going to go, ha, nerd. You know, it's like, it's tasteful. And I think that Heroes Villains, just like No Hope Supply, does a really good job of making merch that's Star Wars if you know it. But if it's not, you're just like, oh, that's really cool.
Yeah, I definitely feel like, too, with Heroes Villains, if I had to give it a critique, it's their stuff is really, really good quality. I will admit that. But because it's a higher quality, it is a little bit more expensive than other merchandise that you will see.
It is.
And I'll say that up front because you'll go to the website and like myself, I wanted the new Fives backpack from the Clone Trooper collection and it's like $140. But I think my dad has the Imperial backpack. It was that one or one of the others just because they had a flash sale on it, so we got it. And it's good quality stuff. I mean, again, you are paying for the quality in it, and it is the perfect Star Wars brand that's very low-key, very niche. They do have a few products in some of their collections that obviously scream like this is from this like series, but everything else is very just like it's stylish and it's cool, and that's what makes them stick out as a brand the most to me, and why I kind of keep coming back to them too. Right.
Yeah, my big thing is like with t-shirts is like I think you should be paying $20 to $25 for a t-shirt.
That's
theirs are 32, but that's getting up there. But on sale, it's 25.
Exactly.
So that's where I'm more like, you know, and I get it's a small business, and I will 10 times out of 10 pay up a little bit for a small business.
Yes.
You know, but that'd probably be my first pick. They have some really cool stuff, and like their trucker hats are super cool.
The hats are great. I have a Bad Batch one that I really love. I have the Rex satchel bag Tommy talked about. I have a Rex sweatshirt from them, and it is so soft. Yeah, that's
the Bad Batch hat. Yeah, very cool.
I wear that when I work out. It's kind of my favorite workout hat.
Yeah, I can't wear hats when I work out because I sweat so much that it stains the brim of the hat.
I get it.
That's what you get.
Just to pull the hair back, just because I need it out of my face sometimes.
That's what happens when you're insulated like me.
That's true. That's true.
But yeah, that's my first pick. What about you? What you got for your second?
So my second pick, now this is obviously going to be for you dudes out there like me, or women can get on it too, honestly, if you really want. It is a brand called Crazy Boxer, and yes, I brought them to show you today. This is the underwear that I no joke wear.
Oh my god.
Crazy Boxer. They have Star Wars collections. They actually had a huge Black Friday sale, and I bought a lot more of their Star Wars stuff. But yes, it's Star Wars underwear. It's a bit geeky, but they do stretch out to other brands. They have like Avatar, South Park, SpongeBob, cereal brands, any version of branding. The biggest reason I'm honestly recommending this too, dude, is like their material is so incredibly soft.
Is it really?
Like, yes, dude. Like, it is literally the best underwear that I have ever owned in my life. That specific pair is a pair that my parents got me for like Christmas one year. I was like, oh, cool Star Wars underwear. But like, if I go out anywhere, I'm like, okay, I need to have the most comfortable underwear on the earth on, so I have to wear that. And they have tasteful things too, like in their Mandalorian collection, they have like a silver pair, and it's like their Beskar armor, which is kind of a funny gag. But yeah, they have a lot of different themes and brands on their website. They get a lot of licensing, which is convenient, so there's something out there for everyone if it's not just Star Wars. I think some of the ones I just bought are like Christmas themed too, so it's like gingerbread, stormtroopers, and then like Darth Vader.
I was
like,
just so shocked you just busted out a pair of boxers.
Hey man, I'm trying to be real to the people on the cam and talk about the things because I brought everything here that I wanted to talk about.
He stands by it.
I gotta stand by the product.
Dude, well, you know, because like I couldn't tell what it was when you first pulled it out. I'm like, oh, what is that, like a sweatshirt? And you were like, boxers.
I'm an exclusive boxer guy. I feel like every man should wear boxers. That's just a joke. But I also wanted to bring everything here, but not also consistently talk about just Star Wars t-shirt companies the entire time.
I
wanted to mix it up because the last one I have isn't like clothing, and it's nice and I like it.
That was part of the reason I chose Heroes and Villains first, was because it's bags and stuff too. It's not so much.
What's your number 2, Tommy?
My number 2 is, and this is a store that I would shop at.
Okay.
Box Lunch.
All
and
right,
we finally got a box lunch in our local mall.
Yes.
Box lunch carries all of the official Star Wars merch that is very, very tasteful. It's not, again, like we talked about, you go to a big box department store and there's just the shirt that has the Star Wars logo on it, or like a huge like movie poster shirt. I wear those too. Like again, this shirt I'm wearing right now, I wear this for the podcast. I'll wear it at home.
Yeah.
I won't really choose it to wear out. With Box Lunch, though, I have this really cool Bad Batch shirt. I think you have the same one.
That was from Hot Topic, actually.
That was from Hot Topic,
Yep.
really?
That was from Hot Topic. I remember purchasing it with you.
Okay.
The Clone Wars shirt that I got on the Cedar Point trip that has the Phase 2 helmet here and has Captain Rex on the back in Phase 1.
That's from Box Lunch.
That's from Box Lunch.
Okay.
Because I couldn't resist. I was like, I'm going to need that.
Yeah, Box Lunch has really cool merch, and again, it's super tasteful. The quality is higher. It's official Star Wars merch, but it's just as cool. It's again a little bit more expensive than
Depending on it.
Yeah, depending on what you get. But they have some cool stuff. I'm gonna pick up some stuff for Jen actually, because she's a huge fan of the Ahsoka show.
Yeah,
and they have
Ahsoka
an Ahsoka collection in their stores right now. So I'm definitely gonna swing down there at some point. But super cool stuff.
Yeah, whereas I feel like this is a good, bigger brand to bring up just because where places like Hot Topic and Spencer's will get Star Wars merch in, half of the time it's literally a PNG thrown on a Fruit of the Loom t-shirt. Where Box Lunch carries like good quality soft material. My wife will actually always steal my only Box Lunch Star Wars shirt because she says it's one of my softest shirts that I own. And you've probably seen on the podcast if you're a long-time watcher, it's black, it's got a Phase 2 trooper here, and on the back it's like a square, and it's got like Phase 1 clone troopers, and it's like Rex and a bunch of other like Shinies with them.
Yeah.
But it's tasteful merch as well. Again, it's not the Star Wars plain text logo on the front of a shirt. It's good quality stuff, and as new shows and things come out, they always update their collections too. Yeah. So that's another really good, reliable brand.
But yeah, Box Lunch, that's my number 2.
Hell yeah. That was a good choice. Good choice. So my number 3 that I have for you today, I'm just going to try to pick up my bag. No, never mind. That isn't going to work. I'm just going to rip it off my bag. Is going to be Spectre Surplus on Etsy.
Spectre Surplus.
Yes. So they make patches like the one that you're seeing right here that I use on my bags. I use it on my kits in uniform. But this one is a Phoenix Squadron, but I have another of the 104th Wolfpack Division, and I would like to get more patches. That was another thing I asked for Christmas, but these are some amazing people who I've actually purchased from before, and then I had the pleasure of meeting them at ICCC. Now, both of the owners are husband and wife, and they're both in the Army as well. And it kind of attracted me at first because when they were showing off the patches, some of the initial advertisement was showing how like it works on like the uniform that I wear. Like on the sleeves, you put like your unit and your deployment patches. And I was like, oh, that's like really cool to see. And to know that they are also like in a veteran company as well that makes stuff that's supposed to be tasteful too. Like you could sneak it onto your kits. Like I wore my Wolfpack patch at my training almost the entire time until my Master Sergeant ripped it off my kit and then said the Army does not do morale patches. So, way to ruin the fun. Thank you, Master Sergeant. But, yeah, I mean, the Rebel one I wear on my bag. I have a journal that I use in my training as well that has a Velcro slip on it. So I put the Wolfpack one on that or any others that I have. But they do patches. They do challenge coins as well. And then they do have some signs because this was one of the things they do. Some wooden signs. We have the Phoenix Squadron here with Sabine's signature on it, which was really, really cool to get from them too. But they have a lot of really good, like tasteful, I guess if you want to call it like tactical products as well. And small things that are cheap too, that you could kind of slap on your everyday wear kind of thing too. I know now they do have they do like hat patches as well, and they have one that's like glow in the dark of like the Jageyes from Kanan or Rex's Jageyes, and it's so cool.
That actually just reminded me over Thanksgiving, Jen's brother, he's a captain in the Army. He had a Mythosaur skull patch on his hat, and sweet. He told me that was his unit's. I don't know what
like in Sing It, yeah.
That it was that. He said that before The Mandalorian came out, it was a lot cooler because only Boba Fett was associated with it and not many people knew what it was. He said
neat.
Once Mando came around, it was like people would always be like, oh, you chose that because of the Mandalorian, and he'd always have to be like, well, no, it's way like older than that. But that's
pretty cool.
That was
dude.
their unit. Yeah.
Hell yeah. I mean, I know you have a little bit of freedom to use logos in the army like that sometimes. It's really if you don't get caught.
Right.
Like the Punisher is for the 2nd Ranger Regiment, and then the SEALs use it too. One of their teams do, but yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so Mythosaur Skull made its way into the U.S. Army. So.
Oh, yeah. That's pretty neat. I hope I can get a cool unit logo someday.
Jackson will do the Wolf Pack. That'll be it.
I would see, that's what I try telling people too, because people will see it like on my kit, like when I wear it, and they'll be like, what unit's that for? I'm like, oh, it's the 104th Infantry. They're like, oh, I've never heard of that division. I'm like, oh yeah, they're around and they do stuff. Because there's so many divisions, how are you going to be able to tell like which is which to begin with? So it's just funny.
That's it. That is funny. So for my third pick, this is one that I've personally never purchased anything from.
Okay.
But it's a little higher end, so it's a little more expensive.
Okay.
And I just recently discovered them. Their name is Tatooine Traders Co.
I've seen them before.
They have really, really
Didn't someone in our Discord buy one of their t-shirts?
I was going to. I think did Stuck in Carbonite get it?
I was going to say, Evan definitely got that shirt because it looks so cool.
Dude, I wanted this one.
You got to get it, man. But
it was like $50. It's already sold out.
Is it like, it looks embroidered though. It doesn't look like a screen print.
No, it's a screen print.
Oh, really?
Yeah, but they're really high quality. And there's like these ones.
For reference, we're looking at like the whole t-shirt, including the sleeves,
front
or
and the
like
back
the design of like what it is.
And
that's pretty
they're
neat.
super stylistic, and it's like this one goes crazy. It's like Anakin and Ahsoka with some battle droids.
That's pretty rad.
They're $45, they're $50, and I think that's what it was. I looked it up and my size was gone already.
Oh,
they didn't have it, and they're made to fit super big, and that's I like if I'm wearing just a t-shirt, like especially to the gym or something, I like. My girlfriend jokes about it all the time. Like, oh, it's a pump cover. I always put on my pump cover because or if I have a hoodie on first, like that's why I like as my Star Wars hoodies start to get tired, or they get a stain on them, I'll just start wearing them to the gym. And then it's a good conversation starter with other guys in the gym. But I'll be in there or I get like pit stains on my shirts. Well, then I'll turn it into a sleeveless and take it to the gym. And that's why I like those big baggy shirts, because I don't get those stains down there nearly as quickly. So I can wear the shirt for a lot longer.
I'm the opposite. I like tight fitted stuff.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, because what I'll do is I'll go through my workout and I'll have like my big baggy thing on.
Yeah.
Once I move away from like the free weights and I start moving to the machines where like my range of motion is just going to be restricted anyway, then I take off the pump cover and then I have like a tighter t-shirt on underneath it. But yeah,
I just do it as I get hot. If I get too hot, I'm like, it's coming off now.
Yeah. But yeah, Tatooine Traders Co. I will buy something from them very soon. But it's just one of those I don't know, $45 for a t-shirt's too much for me. But I understand, like, again, small business, a lot of work went into it, and I want to support that. I want to support 2003 Clone Wars merch all day. So, but yeah, that's my third pick, I'd say.
Hell yeah! I mean, that's really all that I had for some of my selections. I feel like an honorable mention, someone who I kind of religiously follow on social media, is Night Squadron.
I've heard of them.
He's the guy that does like the Star Wars tattoo ideas, and then he transferred them into like t-shirt form. That was another thing on my list this year, was a shirt from him and whatnot. But I really, really like the way his stuff is very simplistically done. It's also almost inspired me to do my next tattoo idea. He had a design he did for Ahsoka, which was the circle like wolf portal, and then Ahsoka and Anakin like fighting on the inside. But I feel like on my shoulder I want to do the circle wolf portal, but I don't know what to put in it because I don't really want to put Anakin and Ahsoka fighting. Maybe I'm still really debating what to do for this whole rest of my arm because I want it to be Rebels something and then like tied into the rest. But his stuff is really, really cool. He's got, again, tattoo designs he puts on there. He's always doing these nice, like, simplistic versions of art. And I feel like, in my opinion, it's the most, like, tasteful out of the... There's a lot of people online that do, like, tattoo ideas for Star Wars, yada, yada. I feel like his stuff is nice and simple and good. And you can adapt it into bigger and better ideas, too, if you really wanted to.
There are a lot of people that do Star Wars designs, and it's just like... There comes a point where it's like that's just so much work for a tattoo artist to do, and it's like some designs like the artist that you go to can't do.
Like, I'm going to be honest, the big trend too is to do a design in the shadowing or dots, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I really don't like that art style, in my opinion.
Or like and this is just me, like I'm not a fan of patchwork sleeves. Like where it's just like a bunch of little tattoos and none of them are cohesive. You ever seen people do that? Like they'll get one piece on their leg.
Dude really wanted to call out Michael?
Well, that's different. His all means something. When we talked to him, he told us every single one that he has means something. Mine is like just the mindless, like you have one tattoo that means something and then you just like, oh, I just want to get a bunch of tattoos. So you just like all the way down your leg.
I think it looks good depending on how you do it.
If you do it, that's just my personal preference. If that's what you want to do, like go do your thing. For my sleeve, I did make my final decision. I was throwing around all different ideas, but I think I'm just going to keep, because I have my J guys and they're just like 2D, like the same way they would be on a clone helmet.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to keep the theme of just clone tattoos all the way down my sleeve. And they're all going to be like 501st clone tattoos. So maybe I'll do something like the hard case face tattoo will be somewhere on my arm.
Sweet.
And it'll just be the line work. And then I'll have like the 5 somewhere on my arm or, just, and the one that I keep arguing with myself about, I think if I do it, I'll just get the numbing stuff. I want to get the Republic cog on the elbow.
The elbow is not a fun spot. The skin's also really loose there, so it's hard to get the ink to stay.
Yeah. But I think that'd be so dope, though, if I just had the Republic cog right there on the elbow.
That isn't going to hurt as much as you think this would hurt, though.
Really?
This is the most painful part of the arm. Everyone who I've ever met, and even Maya, said that this was one of the most painful spots they've ever gotten it.
I mean,
you would not believe it until it happened.
Call me a coward, but like I'm probably just gonna I'm gonna get that numbing stuff and just put it on right before I walk in every time, and then I just won't feel it when they're doing the tattoo.
Careful with that too, because sometimes it makes your skin thicker, so the ink won't stay.
That would make sense.
So I've had the few times that I've had stuff done, people have asked if I had it because they said people buy like the numbing creams on TikTok and then the ink just won't stay in their skin.
Probably because they also put it on too thick, like the lotion.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It all depends on what it is.
Maybe I will just have to suck it up. I mean, it's no pain lasts always. So
this one hurt, but it was fun.
Yeah, dude. I do want to finish I just want my arm. If I can just get my arm and maybe like a little bit of my chest on my left side to be Star Wars, everything else I do will not be Star Wars related.
Fair.
But yeah, it'll be, and I'm going to do it all blue. I'm going to do it all in the same blue as my Captain Rex. Because again, it's all going to be 501st. I did think about, I think my first one though is going to be doing, I think I've talked to you about this.
Yeah.
Just doing the visor, the Captain Rex Phase 2 visor underneath, like just in black.
Yeah.
Underneath the J guys. And then everything else around it will just be other clone tattoos. I really just need to sit down with my dad one day and just have him illustrate the whole thing and then mock it up, and then it'll be super easy. Any tattoo artist could do it.
Exactly.
Just literally just give me a bunch of lines, fill them in, and you're done. But
see, why give the gift of Star Wars products that we just talked about today when you can just buy a tattoo certificate and do that instead? Put it on your body. Get a tattoo. That's my advice for today.
Get a tattoo. And as people who are both practicing Christians, it is not against your faith.
Marking your body is a sin. You will burn in hell. That is sarcastic.
Me actively burning right now.
Me actively burning. Me going to be actively burning as a potential chaplain assistant tomorrow, hopefully, bro. If this doesn't pull through, dude, my second option was armor and infantry.
You're fine. I think you'll be fine. I
got approved for the ed delay, so it's just a matter of if it actually worked. So that's all I'm nervous about. It's just I just need the reassurance that is the official thing, and then I'll be relieved.
I mean, I can't think of many people that would actually be invested or want that role. So I think that you'll. Like 112 people applied for the educational delay out of 3,600 cadets in the pool, and 90 something got it, and I was a part of the 90. Yeah. So Tough.
There's just bottom tier people.
If you didn't, sucks to suck.
That does.
But that's all I got.
Yeah, that's honestly all I got today. I kind of feel like that was a nice, fun way to talk about stuff that we buy. If you're interested in some of these products for yourself and want the links, let us know. Or if you have recommendations for nice, fun Star Wars products that you buy from other people, let us know in the comments. Or shoot us a message on Instagram if you are a listener. Just because we should incorporate them.
Definitely.
The audio doesn't have comments.
So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Jackson, do you want to take us out?
Yeah. Thank you, everybody, so much for watching today. Just a reminder to subscribe to us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Twitter, well, X now, I guess if you want to say TikTok, and a bunch of other social media platforms. If you're not already a member of our Patreon and you are considering supporting us financially, we would really appreciate it. It helps build the podcast up even more. At the end of the month, we are giving away this 501st Appa right here. What? And then next month, your Patreon subscription will count as a second entry into our amazing Star Wars giveaway. Whoa, the
you
big prize is actually
will not want to miss it.
It is actually a really big prize and you'll really, really like it. But yeah, thanks again, everyone, for watching. Have a great rest of your week, and we will see you on Monday for Tika's Trading Post.
Peace up, A-Town!
Hey, this is Vanessa Marshall. I play Hera Syndulla on Star Wars Rebels, and you're listening to the 1313 podcast.